Hi, WhiskyJason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of an American living in Germany. And today I have St. Patrick's Distillery, number 3. I've already done the single malt as well as the 3-year-old. Cask Strength, 43%. Best Irish Whiskey Cask Strength of 2016. Ooh, very, very good. And this was always in bourbon casks. 1,425 bottles, the same bottle number that we had for the 3-year-old single malt. Let's just read the back. Let's fill it up, and then let's read the back of the bottle. And then I'm going to do something special with us today that I've never done online in English before, but I do a lot in German. So, handcrafted in small batches using traditional techniques, crafts distilled in Ireland with grain and malted barley using natural soft water. That's as vague as you can get. Patiently matured and carefully selected and numbered first fill bourbon barrels, very important, first fill bourbon barrels. Each bottle is individually numbered. I have the bottle 444. I think it's kind of cool because they put the 444 on the can as well as on the bottle, which I thought was unique. Usually it's only on the bottle, but they also hand wrote it on the little can here. So, St. Patrick's Distillery, Cork, Ireland. And if you look on the front, it says Oak-aged Irish whiskey, distilled, matured, blended, and bottled in Ireland. Limited edition, non-chilled, filtered, 53%. That's it. So, what I'm going to do is, since it's the best Irish cask strength whiskey of 2016, I'm going to actually compare it to the Writer's Tears cask strength Irish whiskey, which won the years before, 2014. 15, but unfortunately they lost. I'm going to say the word unfortunately they lost in 2016. So a very, very unique thing here. We have this wooden box. It's an oak box with this sleeve that goes over there and this little hole in the top. And I'm just going to put this over here. So the bottle's going to go down here. So I'm going to pour a little bit in here as well. I have, well, a little bit turned into a lot. I have the bottle 1,820 of the 2,640 bottles that were actually produced worldwide for 2016 cask strength Writer's Tears. Here I have the bottle 444 of the 1,425 bottles. So to make it a fair competition, I'm going to have to add a little bit more here. Both are non-chilled filtered. Both are distilled at the Middleton Distillery in Cork, Ireland. Both are then actually matured at different places and then bottled also at different places. So I really, really love Writer's Tears. I don't know about you, but I have the cask strength 2016, 15, 14. I have a sample of the 13, which I just found, which I'm going to test as well. And in German, I did a Walsh Irish Whiskey Distillery Challenge, where I had 6 different Walsh Distillery products in blind blue glasses, so I couldn't see what they were. And I tasted them. And unfortunately, almost every single time, the cask strength did not win. They were actually in the lower half of the blind tasting. So let's do the nose first. Oh, it's got a good nose. Oh, it's fruity. It's vanilla. It's oak. It's creamy. Nice. The St. Patrick's Distillery Irish whiskey nose. It burned my nose hairs. Wow, it's like an acetone type of gasoline type of alcohol. I have some grain in there, but it's really, really, really young. Now, from the nose alone, I would not understand why this won the Best Irish Cask Strength 2016. This is definitely the better whiskey to nose. Now, let's try them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some water after a while. I'm going to start at 53%, take it down to about 48.5%, and then take it down to about 43%, and try them each one individually and test them. First of all, hot. 53% is a lot. Second of all, towards the end, there's this wood. And wood management is, for me, maybe the most important thing. There's some bad wood in there. So if they poured in 1 or 2 barrels that were not pristine, were not great, were not perfect, there's a lot of potential in there. In the middle, it's really, really, really good. But towards the end, that aftertaste is just... it just fizzles out, and it actually turns into something of a negative experience. And I love Writer's Tears. I love the Red Hat. I love the Copper Pot. These are all still source whiskeys from Middleton and Walsh Whiskey Distillery. Will start producing their own whiskeys. They have started already. They have their own distillery. They have their pot still set up. And in maybe 3 years from now, maybe even 5, they said, they will start putting stuff on the market, but only when it's perfect and ready. So, a little bit of water in between. The St. Patrick's Irish Whiskey. The nose is really not a compliment for the whiskey. Milder. Oh, at the end, it's Irish whiskey. It's a fruity, grainy type of barley bonanza. Wow. Now I understand why St. Patrick's Cask Strength Irish Whiskey is the best Cask Strength Irish Whiskey in Ireland 2016. It's so much better. Limited edition, 1,425 bottles. First time in the market, 2016. That's why they couldn't have won 15 or 14 or 13 or whatever else. Basically, they created a category, and they started winning this category. No one else was producing Cask Strength Irish whiskey that I know of. But now finally somebody said, hey, look at this. We have Cask Strength as well. Now, Teeling also has some individual casks, one cask usually that they fill at Cask Strength, but I don't think that that's really the requirement. I think to have a Cask Strength whiskey, you need to have more than one cask married together and then presented in bottles. Oh, that's really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lower it down to about 48.5. 49. Let me get this right. Oops, I got to get the whiskey, the water right here. Oops, got too much. This is nice. I've had... There we go. So, swirl it around a little bit. Maybe the Writer's Tears will get better and actually surpass the St. Patrick's Cask Strength. On the nose, it's still much better. But it's catching up. Ooh, that's good on the nose now. Oh, there's a little bit of burning. There's a little bit of acetone. There's a little bit of that alcohol sense in there. But it's been reduced. Let's try. So it comes in really nice. Oh, that's so good. But then the wood takes over, and the wood just kills it. WhiskyJason, can barely read it behind all the bottles and glasses, do not like coffee. It's bitter. I don't know what's about it, but the bitterness is just something that turns me off. And wood that has been used too often, especially first fill bourbon means second time used. In America, then they come to Ireland, first fill bourbon cask, second fill, and third fill. And I have the feeling that there's second and maybe even a third fill cask in here that really, really doesn't do it. Here, as we read in the bottle, we only have first fill bourbon casks. And that makes all the difference. 1 second. I sometimes use my hand to visualize what I taste. And if I were to visualize, it comes in, it actually increases, it decreases a tiny little bit, and then it increases again. This stuff is really, really good. If I would visualize the writer's tears, it comes in, goes up, and then goes down. I can't even, so here, whee, it ends here, and that really just kills the entire moment. This stuff really is good. So one more time, some water in there. Make sure I get the right amount. So, all right, I'm still working with my little water here. Ooh, that's so good. Ooh, oh, this is interesting. I would actually say that the Irish whiskey from St. Patrick's Distillery on the nose is now better than the Writer's Tears. Just marginally. Just marginally, but still. There's a little bit more fruit, there's a little bit more spiciness, a little bit more of the barley. There's a little bit of the woodiness. If anyone's ever watched Scotch Test Dummies, now the whiskey bitch's husband has to take a drink every time we say the word woodiness. I've never known his. Does anyone know his name? Write it in the comments. From the whiskey bitch, the husband's. What's his name? Andy or Steve? I don't know. Today I'm going to start with the St. Patrick's Distillery Irish whiskey down to about 43%. Nice. The 48% was better. But this is really, really fine. There's nothing wrong about it. That's the good part. Now moving on to the Writer's Tears. By the way, I do this in German all the time. I take one whiskey, review it, and then I pull out another whiskey and compare it in the middle of the review. This is just something that's just normal for me as WhiskyJason. I'll say, oh, I think I remember this is almost like that. Also very, very nice. And there's just, the bad wood is almost eliminated with the water. But there's just a tiny little bit of the wood still left in there that leaves this little bit of an aftertaste of something which is off. As if a barrel just wasn't perfect. The winner and still reigning champion is the Best Irish Cask Strength Whiskey 2016 Distillery St. Patrick's Cask Strength 43%. 43, I say that all the time. 53% from Middleton. Excellent, excellent stuff. If you can ever get your hands on this, 1,425 bottles worldwide. Sorry, I have a bottle. Now write me. If you're not in the States, if you're in England or someplace else in Europe, write me. I might be able to send you a bottle. A bottle, not a sample. So for a sample about 10 CLs, we're talking about 10 euros plus postage. If we're talking about a 5 CL, we're talking maybe about 6 euros plus postage. It's really, really worth it. By the way, if you want to try my Writer's Tears, as I said, I have the year 2016, 2015, and a 2014. I did a comparison of all three of them. Also a very important thing. If If you're in the European Union, if you're in Europe, I can send samples. If you're in the States, forget about it. It's impossible to legally send alcohol to the States, especially from Europe, or even within the States, it would be illegal. All right, very, very good. So I'm going to give this a B+. So value for money, B-. 68 euros over here, which would be at $75. It's still not bad for B- for the price value point. This was a little bit more expensive. I almost paid 80 euros for this, which would be about $90. And I wasn't totally convinced about it, especially after trying the St. Patrick's Distillery Cask Strength. Thank you very much for watching. WhiskyJason, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, testing exotic and rare whiskeys. Like, subscribe, tell others about this, and I thank you very much for also commenting. See you soon. Bye-bye.